Hey guys, how's it going? It's James here from Audio.etc. Today, I'm happy. I'm here to share the joy with you guys because right now I feel like a kid on Christmas morning. Just over there is a pile of car audio gear. I'm happy. So essentially in this video what I wanted to do was kind of give you guys the full rundown of the sound system that's going to go into Judy, my Subaru Legacy, because I've kind of got it all finalised now. I've got all the gear that I need, and also there's a few more things down here that I thought I want to show you, maybe give you like an idea as to maybe some of the upcoming projects in this year other than the Legacy. And also what I'm doing is filming a separate video where I unbox some of my Rockford Fosgate gear and some of my Focal gear in a separate video as well, because I wanted to make this video to kind of give you guys the whole update with what's going on with it, what the plan is, what's coming up this week, and then also I want to do separate videos showing the unboxing, showing the gear, my opinions on it and stuff like that, because I don't know, more videos means more views, and what do I gotta do to get some views around here? Doug Bernards is over here complaining about not getting views from his 182,000 subscribers. I'm sitting here on 2,000 subscribers, getting a few hundred views a pop. What do I have to do? I really don't see how this gets you any more views, Doug, but yeah. So before I go off on another tangent, let's crack into it. So some of this stuff I need to show you, some of it I don't, because I have extra videos up for the Rockford Fosgate gear and the Focal gear. Links will be at the end of this video, and I'll put a card up here or there or somewhere. Let's get the Focal gear out of the way fast. I might as well just give you a quick overview. So speakers for my car have arrived. I'm using the Focal PS165 FX in the front and the PC165F in the back. Amplifier that I'm going for, T1000 X5 AD. I love the look of this amp. Can't wait to see it installed. There is some of that. I got the PLC2 remote to go with it as well, and that's going to be like a bass attenuation knob. Subwoofer I'm going for the T1 S112 Slimline 12-inch Power Series subwoofer. You guys know about the box already, the P300 box, which I'm going to have to modify to get that sub to even fit in it. But some of this stuff you guys don't really know about. So RCAs, the thing with RCAs has changed again, guys. I was going to go for like 3 sets of those Focal ER5s. Where are they? So I was going to go for 3 sets of these Focal ER5s. I really like them. The quality of the heads seems amazing. Nice thick shield on them. And they weren't going to be too expensive either. But I've recently located some better RCAs that I can have for free. In this box here, we have RCAs and speaker wire. I'll show you the speaker wire in a minute. So these are the RCAs I'm going to use. These are Monster Micro XLN RCA cables. These are really good RCA cables. They retail at like well over 150 watts, well over 150 bucks a pair. So I've got a, where is it? These are both 5 meters, by the way. That's the end of a 4-channel set. So you got 4 RCAs, and then there is a 2-channel set as well here for the subwoofer. And what I was tossing up between whether to go for the Focals or the Monsters was the fact that these are second-hand. These used to be my boss's car, but they are really good. And what I wanted to do was test the actual integrity of both of them and see which ones had the least amount of resistance from end to end. And so I did a little spreadsheet sort of thing, kind of with the multimeter, and tested all the cores and shield and everything like that. I found that the Focal ones had 0.9 ohms on the cores and 0.1 ohms on the shield. So very good shield on them. Like, this is pretty much 0 resistance whatsoever on that. But testing the Monster ones, every single of this whole set, every single shield and core was 0.6 ohms, consistent the whole way across. So even though the Focals appear to have a better shield on them, I'm going to go for the Monsters because they have a lower impedance for the core, which means the core is thicker. And also these RCAs are renowned for being for their noise rejection abilities. And given the fact that I'm really good at running RCAs anyway, like running them in a location where they're not going to pick up any noise, I think I'll be fine with these. So that's what I'm using for my RCAs. Monster Micro XLN 5 meter secondhand, but still really good RCAs. So that's them, and they're free as well. So that was a no-brainer. I've got some speaker cable here that I've quickly sourced from work that I'm going to use for all my woofers and to the crossovers of my front speakers. So this is, you won't be able to read it, but I only just can. Monster XPHP High Performance Precision Standard Time Correct Speaker Cable with magnetic flux tube and LPE dielectric 12 gauge, I guess, 12 or 16 gauge sort of thing. Maybe they're 14 gauge, that's probably about what they look like. But anyway, this is going to go from the amplifier to the back speakers and also to the crossover boxes for the front speakers, and then from the crossover boxes to the woofers. And then for the tweeters, I'm going to use some of the 16 gauge wire that we have at work. So that's what I'm doing for that. I was real worried about what I was going to do for speaker wire, since we actually don't really have any good quality stuff left. We've completely like run out, and no one seems to be getting any decent speaker wire in for us. I hit up the Rockford Fosgate people and the T-Spec people, and neither of them seem to have any wire that we want in stock or available. We'd have to specially order it in, and for my car we honestly don't need like a whole roll of wire. We just need something we can use on the daily. So that's the RCAs and speaker cables. Now this capacitor, I was going to put this in the boot of my Legacy because like it's a little bit of extra power supply, and it's a really good distribution system because it's got, you know, 1 gauge inputs or 0 gauge inputs and 0 gauge inputs and 4 gauge outputs, plus a whole bunch of remote distribution. But the only thing was that I wasn't really happy with how it was all looking in its position, and this is really heavy and clunky and also really overkill for the system I'm putting in. So I actually have since decided to go without this. I'm probably going to go completely without a capacitor, at least for now. Not as a result, if you're watching, of that post that guy posted. I did read up on it and I understood what it was saying, but I honestly still believe that capacitors are good for sound systems, because I have complete faith in brands like Rockford Fosgate and Focal and things like that, and they still make capacitors for cars. So honestly, I don't think they can be that bad for a car if some of the best brands in car audio are going to bother making them, you know? So I think capacitors aren't that damaging to cars, but I am still probably going to go without one for now. So that is going to go like back into storage for a wee bit. What I'm going to use instead, I've got here a couple of distribution blocks. I don't know which one I'm going to use. These are both T-Spec distribution, fused distribution blocks. I've got a 2 fuse one here and a 3 fuse. I don't know which one I'm going to go for yet, because I know the 2 fuse one fits in a nice location where I thought I could put it, and that would give me power for my amplifier and for my inverter, which I am going to still install. But I don't know, maybe I'll want to add a capacitor on later on, and I like expandability, so I thought maybe a 3 fuse one would be better. Only thing is, where does this fit in the same location? I don't know, we'll have to test it. I would go out and show you guys, but it's pretty much, it's like raining outside at the moment, so I don't really feel like going out in the rain. But that's what I'm doing for power distribution anyway. I'll either be using this triple fuse or double fused one. So that's for the system. That's for the system. This Rockford Fosgate punch box just has my old punch 1000 watt amp in here. There's the old beauty. I had this in my Lignum for a long time, and it performs like an absolute beast. Not going to use it in the Legacy, but I'm definitely not going to get rid of it because it's a beast of an amp. I'll probably use it down the line someday. Maybe I'll put it in the 86 if I ever you know, buy the 86, which I desperately want. Maybe I'll use it for the subwoofers, because it's a brilliant amp and I don't want to sell it. In this box here, this is one of my P315 boxes. This is kind of where I'm just keeping all of my surplus car audio gear that I have now. Bit of random bits and bobs. That's a piece of cardboard. Tarpaulins. What we got here? So we got a random T-Spec 4-channel RCA cable. Don't know what I'll use that for. Driving lights, which I've yet to install. T-Spec RCAs. No, not T-Spec, Tsunami. That's all Tsunami gear. Driving lights. Air horn. I intend to install this at some point, somewhere in the Legacy. That's what I've got left of my Rockford Fosgate 0 gauge power cable. I don't even know if I'm going to need this now that I'm not using that capacitor. Not sure. A couple of LCD screens. I've got like, whether I need these or not, I'm not sure. I might use a couple of them. I've got like 4 fans here, 12 volt ones. These are just out of computers though. They're second hand ones. I know one of them works really well. One of them is a wee bit slow. I'm not sure what the other 2 do, but who knows, maybe I'll use them. That's leftover parts from my Rockford Fosgate battery terminals that I installed. Oh, okay. I got a whole bag of 150 and 250 amp A&L fuses here. I have never blown a single one Oh, actually, yes, I'm going to use that. And what's it? Oh, yeah, I could use that. Sweet, I've already got a distribution block for ground. Could use that. And I want to use this as well to get 4 gauge into my Rockford Fosgate amplifier. Because 4 gauge barely fits in the ends of that amplifier up there. Need to use that. That is, oh, that's what's left over from my steering wheel controls. There's the right side that I didn't use, and there is the blank that I took off my steering wheel controls. More driving lights and shit. Not much more interesting down here. I've got another camera in here somewhere. What's that? That's a relay. That's a super loud siren that I'm keeping in case I ever need it. Oh, there's another camera. What else have I got? There's a couple of random tweeters in here. I don't know what brand they are. Driving lights off the Lignum. But yeah, this is kind of just my box where I keep my random car audio gear in it. So these fans can go back in here. Don't know. May end up using that, may not. But one thing that can go back in here is this, this big capacitor, which I have now decided I'm not using. That can go in the bottom there. Power cable and RCA shit. I think that was all the stuff in that box. But that's not all of it, there is more. In this box here, which I've set aside separately, I have some more old stuff that I had in the Lignum, and what I intend to do is install this in Jess's new car when she gets it. My mum had a 1996 Toyota RAV4, which she is selling to my girlfriend Jessica, which she's pretty excited about, and I'm going to install pretty much the system that was in my Lignum in it, without the subwoofers. So at some point in the future, I'll make some videos for installing the Rockford Fosgate punch components and power coaxials, which will be driven off my Sony 4-channel amplifier with the Tsunami RCAs that I had here, because they're good quality RCAs, so might as well use them. She's got a Sony head deck that I'll use for it all, because she likes it. Steering wheel controls knob for her. And I think that's everything. And that's just some stuff out of her car, because she's selling it at the moment. Right, so I need to restack this stuff. Oh, this amplifier can probably go into storage, since it's not getting used anytime soon. Oh, that's the head unit that will be going in the RAV4. That's the one she's got in her Ford at the moment. She really likes it, so we're going to keep it and move it over to the next car. In fact, I could probably put this stuff up with it, rather than having it out on the floor here. So that stuff's all for Jess's car. So the good news is, guys, that I've been given permission to work on the Legacy all week while I'm at work, in any free time that I have. So hopefully this week I'm going to be able to get a decent portion of my sound system actually installed. It's going to be more than a week's job though, and since I'm only doing it in my downtime, it will take longer. But I'm just excited to get started on it. The first things I need to do, number one, let's try and figure out what I need to do. So number one, I need to install/run RCAs, speaker wires, and remote wires. Well, remote wire. Oh, and PLC2 cable. Write that down so I don't forget it. So once I've got that done, then I can actually start looking at installing some of the gear. So 2, what do I want to do after that? I want to make the time between having music and not having music as short as possible. So I'll probably for a while still run the factory system and then just do a quick swap over at some point. So I guess once I've got the speaker wires, remote and all that stuff done, the next job is probably to install amplifier plus crossovers. And where I'm going to install them, guys, because I'm actually going for a totally new layout, different to anything I've ever really shown you. This is actually how I wanted to lay it out when I first got the car, but I decided against it for some reason, because I wanted to keep the integrity of the car, but I've recently decided I want to go back to it and do it anyway. So if this here, say this is a plan view of my boot, say that's my boot, guys. Over in this corner, we've got the subwoofer box, and on the floor, divided up into sections, there's like a piece that goes there. The main piece goes down like that, and there's like a handle here to lift it up and get to the spare wheel. And then there's these pieces which go here. And so what I'm going to do is cut a hole about there in this floor piece for the amplifier to show through. So it'll basically be like the top of the amplifier and then the floor will be exactly flush with one another. So it'll be like the amp is pretty much part of the floor essentially. So that's going to be the amp on that side. And then over on this side, it's going to be similar, going to be crossovers. And that's pretty much how it's going to be laid out. There's going to be, and then all the wires will be hidden away. So that's where they're getting installed. So install the amplifier and the crossovers. After that, it's pretty much 3 install back speakers, 4 install front speakers, so that'll be a system working. 5 tune amp, which is really easy. 6 is probably modify, wait no, not modify, oh yes, modify it first. Modify sub box to fit subwoofer, and then 7 strengthen sub box with resin. 8 install and wire up subwoofer, at which point the system will be pretty much installed and done. Don't think there's anything more I need to do after that. Oh, actually, yes there is. I suppose this doesn't really matter at what point I do it, so I'll make it number 9, wire up power inverter. Yeah, that doesn't really matter when I do that. Is there anything else? So yeah, that's pretty much everything that needs to be done on duty. So essentially that's what I've got planned for this week. I obviously won't get it all done. I want to try and definitely get the wires ran and the amplifier and crossovers installed this week. Whether I get time to do the speakers or not, I'm not sure how that's going to go, but that's my goal. With regards to the capacitor, maybe sometime down the line, if I think I need to, I'll add a 1 farad capacitor. I would definitely only need 1 farad because a good rule of thumb to go for with capacitors is 1 farad for every 1000 watts RMS. And since this amplifier does pretty much exactly 1000 watts RMS, 1 farad will be fine, if I think I need it. Obviously the system isn't going to be as loud as the one I had in my Lignum. That was my SPL system. This time around I'm trying to go for a more SQ system, which is, you know, sound quality over loudness. That's why I'm going for Focal speakers and everything, because I want that quality. So I don't expect it to be super loud, particularly on the subwoofer side of things, but I do expect it to sound really clean. Oh, that's something I need to do. After all this is done, probably because of money, sound deaden all doors and wheel arches. That's the other big thing I plan to do to the Legacy. I want to put sound deadening in all of the doors and also some of the over the wheel arches as well, to try and keep out some of that road noise. I'm going to be using mainly Dynamat, even though like I know Focal do make sound deadening. I will use a little bit of it, but not all of it. I'm going to use Dynamat pretty much everywhere, all of the inner skins of the doors, the outer skins of the doors, over the wheel arches. But then what I'm going to do with some BAM is put some pieces just right behind where the speakers are to prevent that back wave. I don't think it's necessary, even though we do it in customers' cars, I don't think it's necessary for me to put BAM over the whole sheet of metal in the door. All you need, I think, is just a piece about maybe a foot by a foot behind the speaker, just to prevent that back wave from coming back into the car. So that's what I have to do. That's something I haven't bought yet. I've bought pretty much everything except for the sound deadening. So just to summarize the point of this video, I got all my sound gear and I wanted to give you guys the update. In total summary, basically, I was just letting you guys know that I'm using Rockford Fosgate T1000X5AD 5-channel amplifier with the remote. I'm using the Rockford Fosgate T1S1-12 subwoofer. I'm using Focal PS165FX front speakers and PC165F back speakers. I have changed my RCAs once again to not even Focal ones now, to the Monster RCAs. I found some speaker wire, and I was letting you know about the project that is going into Jess's RAV4 when she gets it, which is pretty much all the Rockford Fosgate gear and the Sony amp that I had in my Lignum, because she likes her music. She's not a huge bass freak like I am, but she does like her music really loud, and that amp puts out a fair bit of snot, so I think she'll be quite keen to have that installed. So that was another update. That's a future project. Pretty much once the Legacy is done, I'll have something else I can do. It's always good to have things lined up in the future that I can film, because I can't always rely on auto sound and security to provide me with you know, filmable work. Also guys, I was thinking I might make a Q&A video in the future, because I've got quite a few questions on my Facebook page and on comments of my other videos that I haven't gotten around to answering yet. Unfortunately, I just haven't had the time to sort of sit down and look at them all. So I'll answer all those, and if you guys have any more just random questions, like literally ask me anything. It can be about car audio, it can be about lighting or fabrication, it can be about myself or Jess or cars. It like Casey Neistat's Ask Me Anything. Pretty much just ask me anything, I'll be happy to answer it as best as I can, and hopefully that will be a future video coming up if I get enough questions. When you only get like sort of 3 questions to one of these sort of things, it kind of makes it pointless to make a video about it. So depending on how much of a response I get, I may or may not make a Q&A video. But if you have any questions for me about literally anything, chuck them in the comments, and hopefully I'll make a video soon doing that. So that's pretty much the total update for what's happening with the Legacy guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video, hope you're keen to see it start getting happening this week. I want to get these videos uploaded tonight, so if you're seeing this now, then I filmed this video today and got it uploaded today, so you know you're up to date with everything that's happening. If you want to see the videos of me unboxing and looking at the Rockford Fosgate gear and the Focal gear, the links will be on the screen here at the end of the video. As always guys, thanks for watching, choose to be happy, and I'll catch you in my next video. Ka kite anō.